Welcome back to 504 Road Trips. Today we begin day 3 of our US-61 trip filmed on July 11th of 2021. We begin in the city of Keokuk, the southernmost city in Iowa, just 4 miles from the Missouri border, and it's another crappy day in Iowa. I really wish we could have had better weather, and I would therefore have a better impression of the state. I know there are good things to do and see in Iowa, but it seemed like a dark cloud was hanging over the state the entire time we were there. I will make a point to return to Iowa in the future so that I don't have a permanent negative impression of the state like I do of Ohio, which seemed like an endless construction zone, and that was based on one hard day of travel through the state 25 years ago, and I've never returned. But I digress. We'll soon be in Missouri, and not long after we cross the state line, the weather will clear up, further reinforcing my idea of a dark cloud hanging over Iowa. Here we begin an overlap with US Highway 136, which runs 804 miles east-west from Speedway, Indiana to Edison, Nebraska. And this is one of those oddball 3-digit US highways that never meets its parent route of US 36, although it does come within 2 miles of it at its eastern terminus. At the Des Moines River we cross into Clark County, Missouri. Clark County was organized in 1836 and named for William Clark of the Lewis and Clark expedition. William Clark later became the governor of the Missouri Territory. Early settlers were drawn here because of the rich and inexpensive agricultural land, which sold for 12.5 cents an acre, or 1/8 of a Spanish dollar, otherwise known as a bit, and leading to the colloquial name of Bit Nation. This is not to be confused with Bitcoin, which is worth a lot more than the Spanish dollar of 1836. Quite a bit more. Clark County had a population of 6,634 as of the 2020 census. We passed through the city of Alexandria, founded in the 1830s and named for John Alexander, the proprietor of a nearby ferry. As of the 2020 census, the population of Alexandria was 105, and if you've been paying attention to the highway as we approach the small city, there's one gas station for every 26 people within a 5-minute drive. The concurrency with US 136 ends here, and we're now heading due west for a few miles until the next highway junction. We get a 60-mile-per-hour speed limit on a 2-lane highway through agricultural land. You may notice that beginning with this video, we're not referencing any mileage on US-61. I couldn't find any kind of mileage log for the highway in Missouri, and there are no mile markers that I could find, and the route is too convoluted to try to measure it on Google Maps. So we'll just be referencing the cities and towns that we passed through in the titles of the videos. I couldn't even find anything stating the total mileage in Missouri, but that number is somewhere between 450 and 500 miles, which is around 1/3 of the entire length of the highway from beginning to end. We come upon a diamond interchange where US-61 connects with a 4-lane highway. At this junction is the south end of Missouri Route 27, and US-61 will turn south here. This highway is called the Avenue of the Saints, which runs 563 miles from St. Paul, Minnesota to St. Louis, Missouri. We'll be covering almost the entire Missouri portion from here to its southern terminus. The concept of the Avenue of the Saints came about in the 1980s when businessman Ernest Hayes of Mount Pleasant, Iowa, envisioned a 4-lane highway between St. Paul and St. Louis, the Saints referenced in the name of the highway. The section of road that we're on now is part of the final 9 miles of 4-lane to be built, and a dedication ceremony was held on July 25, 2008, commemorating its completion. We'll conclude today's video at the Lewis County line. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, post a comment, subscribe, share and follow us on social media, and join us for our next 504 road trip.